No, listen, now we're going to the Logies. You are getting a proper haircut.
No, we can't afford a car. We're going back to cutting my own hair.
You're not cutting yourself.
Oh, did you have fun?
No. Give me the money.
I've been poor and I've been rich. I know which one I want.
I'm never kissing a boy again. This is the shittest game ever. Kirsty's just the fucking weirdest person you're ever going to meet.
No.
Yes. Okay, hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the Kirsty and Jesse podcast.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. We are trying to make this a weekly
Yeah, it ain't going to happen. It's going to be
release,
fortnightly.
But it's just going to be whenever we can get it 5 minutes to do
Hopefully fortnightly.
it. Hopefully fortnightly. But
What's going on with your hair?
My hair?
Sorry, it's very distracting.
I'm due for a trim.
I keep telling you got to book into the actual hairdresser, but you're refusing to pay, what, $30?
I don't know. Yeah, I think it's about $30 now. It's too much.
You don't realise how bad of a job you do yourself, though.
No.
I know you think you can do it, and you can do most things. And we had this conversation the other night because you got really upset that I said you can't do it, and you don't like being told you can't do something.
But I can cut my hair.
Well, you can, but you can't do it very good.
Well, obviously, if I was the one cutting it, I could cut it better. Like standing behind myself, but having to do it like this is
you
hard.
don't have that superpower, do you?
Well, I can cut it.
So you can
I'm
just
still
pay
going to cut
$30.
it. No.
No.
So the renovation's just chewing up all the monies. I've been poor and I've been rich. I know which one I want to be. There's going to be nothing left.
I don't know. I'll give up something for a week so you can get a haircut.
What are you going to give up? You don't.
I don't do anything.
Kirsty has no.
Anyway,
fun.
let's get back on track.
Okay, right. What are we saying? Just good day to everyone, I think.
Hello.
Haven't even
We're already
started
arguing.
yet.
It's been a busy few past weeks.
Hey. So last week we said we weren't going to say. I'm going to say it now because I've got to explain what it is. So we can't say What's the punishment though? If you say it,
I don't know.
each time you say it, it's a 10-minute massage.
What, I get a 10-minute massage
No.
if I say it?
For me.
No, that ain't going to happen.
Or what can the punishment be? Or reward?
I don't know. This is the shittest game ever. I'll just say and there'll be nothing.
Or there's no point of not saying then.
Anyway.
That was the other one too. We said you could say anyway twice, I think.
Well, you just need to stop dragging shit on so I won't have to say anyway.
Oh, we should get a buzzer.
Yeah.
And then when you need to say anyway,
okay,
to hurry things up or change the topic because we're just talking right, you can just hit the buzzer.
Okay, so that's going to be my new one. Okay, so it's been a busy few past weeks. We've had the renos going on, of course.
It's so easy, isn't it? It's just the go-to.
I'm just going to ignore when I say it now because I'm going to be grunting the whole way through. I've had the renos. Are you looking for a buzzer?
I was going to look for a tally. I need to tally all these up. It's a long massage I'm getting.
You're not getting a massage. It's been a busy few weeks. We've had the reno. We've had gigs. I've had gigs. You've been coming along to the gigs selling my merch for me because you're lovely and do that for me.
Yeah. And the reno takes up a lot of time.
Oh my gosh.
Just the organising,
yes.
Organising the trades, the stock, making sure things arrive on time to schedule.
Materials, I think it's called, Dal, not stock. We're not running a cafe here.
Yeah, right. So if one thing doesn't show up, it just snowballs.
Yes.
And if you book trades in for the particular material that comes, it just snowballs, and then you've got people standing around. So it's really hard to manage. So it's chewing up a lot of time.
So it's been busy. We've had the renos, we've had gigs. I released a new single music video. You did an amazing job with this music video because it actually features over 30 years of footage that you had to get off VHSs of me performing as a kid.
You made it easy. You're a pretty cute kid. So
Thanks, Dal.
Yeah, at the end, I don't know, we'll roll a bit of this. And if you're listening and not watching on YouTube, you'll have to just jump on Kirsty's socials and check it out.
Music video. I was a pretty cute kid, actually.
You were definitely, yeah.
If I could be guaranteed to have a kid that was as cute as me and...
As talented.
Well, I didn't want to say it, but...
Yeah, we are talented, darling. There's no denying that.
Oh, thank you. I'd think about it. But my nose is running because it's cold.
It's cold,
Yeah.
yes. So we're renovating and then there's just birds flying in.
What is this? Oh, my gosh. Where are we? Imagine if we did have kids. We would not be able to be doing this right now.
Yeah, I don't know. So
How do
there's
we
just
live like this?
everything's open to the elements here.
My dad
it's
was
freezing
here.
cold.
Bobby Boucher, he's here every day. He was here the other day and he was just like, fuck, how do you
I don't know how you live like
live
this.
like this?
Fuck this. This is shit. Couldn't do it. Yeah, so it's just
But
everything's
we're
just an
thinking about
absolute
the
mess.
end goal. This looks like our Stuart's rape dungeon at the moment.
Well, I've got the I don't want to show this side over here or that side over there because it looks worse. I've tried to pick the nicer parts of the house.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the real nice part of the house.
And you can probably hear it's raining at the moment.
Oh my
There's
gosh,
cars
it's really feeling like
past.
winter right now. It's miserable. I'm so over this rain.
It's not really that cold. It's like 22 degrees or something.
It's cold for me.
Yeah, anything under 25 is freezing.
I get so depressed when it's winter and cold.
That's why the block was just so hard. It was just like it got to negative there, I'm sure, a couple of nights.
I don't know about that, but it felt like
snowed. I'm pretty sure it snowed.
I don't think it snowed, but it felt like it. So anyway, yes, it's very miserable here. It's winter. And it makes me depressed. I need sunshine all the time to be happy.
I don't mind if I got the veggies going, but there's no veggies in, so there's no real benefit to me.
The only good thing about winter are cups of teas.
Cups of teas
yes,
and fires.
Tasty. No, I love my cups of teas. So another exciting thing that has happened is our season of The Block has been nominated for a Logie.
Hooray! Logie.
And we're so excited
amazing.
it did because honestly, the main reason we went on The Block was so that we could attend the Logies. Hopefully attend the Logies and go to the after party and hopefully get drunk with Carl Stefanovic because
get on it with Carl
we've heard
Stefanovic.
he has a bit of a good time at the after party.
Yeah.
So we're hoping that we get to experience that.
Yes, we have been invited. We just don't know what. I've never been to the Logies before. Like, surely we get to do the
Yeah, we've been invited
stuff.
to the after party. That's on the invite.
I'm really
I'm
looking
the
forward to it
adult
anyway.
in this relationship. Jesse doesn't really read emails or bills or anything.
It's just easier because you've done
So
it for
I'm
so
basically
long.
your personal assistant.
Definitely, but
receptionist.
it's not because I'm lazy. I do offer, but Kirsty is just too much of a control freak to hand any responsibility over. Because
Well,
if
then
she
I'm a
does
control
it, she
freak.
knows it gets
Yeah,
done.
that's right. I know it's getting done properly.
Yeah. And if I do it, there is potential for it to be wrong. But I guess
Big
not given the
potential.
chance, you would never know. So I'm not being lazy, not doing it. You just would prefer to do it. But then you take on too much and then you...
Yes, but in saying
Can't
that, there's times where I'd be traveling to America to Nashville for my music. I'd be over there for months at a time. You'd be back here without me by yourself and you live like a 14-year-old.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't, like you didn't open any of the mail the whole time. So you were given the chance.
I opened the eBay packages. That's it.
So you were given the chance. But yeah, that's why it's great you got this personal assistant.
There's been a few, what do you call it, overdue bills
Yes.
that have gone
So I just do it now. It's
to the
easier.
debt collectors because of me.
So I'm not going to say it anyway. Okay, so
Okay, so
thank you to everyone that sent in your DMs wanting to know things about us. We asked last week if anyone had any questions. We would answer them this week. So I need to get them off my phone because we had lots and lots of
what responses?
I just said again, but yeah, lots of questions.
Questions. I said it myself.
Oh, did you do as well? Oh well.
I did it again. An idiot. Okay.
You seriously need a haircut, but anyway.
What's wrong with it? It's a bit fluffy, isn't it?
You look like one of the Golden Girls.
Said it again. God. Yes, I need a haircut. It's coming. I'm going to do it at Sabi, hopefully.
No, listen, now we're going to the Logies. You are getting a proper haircut.
That's not till
It's only a couple of weeks
June.
away. It's a couple of weeks away.
May, June.
It's only a couple of weeks away. You're getting a proper haircut. I don't care what you say.
Well, I'm cutting it myself.
You're not cutting yourself.
I'm telling you
I'll
now.
throw out all the scissors in the house.
No, you won't.
Yes, I will.
I'm cutting my hair myself.
You're not.
Listen, $30 every 3 weeks or whatever you need. People do
You don't
haircuts.
get your haircut every 3 weeks.
Yeah, I know. Have a go at it.
The last time you got your haircut was when we went to the block auction.
No,
Yes.
surely not.
Yes,
This
it
isn't
was.
12 months worth, I don't think.
The block auction was in November, doll, but...
Oh.
Okay,
Okay.
so one of the first questions was, are we introverts or extroverts? I actually think you're more of an extrovert. Even though you come across as the quieter one, you're actually more social than me. I know
Yeah.
I like perform on stage and I look like I'm extroverted, but I'm actually an extroverted introvert. So as soon as I'm off stage and I'm not Kirsty Height as a singer, I'm really like guarded and
Yeah,
don't
definitely.
talk to me,
Kirsty's
please.
one of them ones
I'm a weirdo.
that it's hard to get to know. Once you get to know her, everyone loves her. But she has this shell.
I do have these walls on.
Yeah. So people, it's hard to read you. A lot of the time when people become friends with you, they say,
I thought you were a bitch when I first
thought
met
you were a bitch, but she is very lovely, Kirsty. It's just she doesn't befriend everyone. She's very selective with her friends.
Very small circle.
Once you burn Kirsty, that's
They're
it.
dead to me.
One chance and then you're out. So Kirsty is very extroverted on stage, but she's very introverted.
I'm definitely an introvert. I'm the kind of person
where I'm very introverted in the public sense, having to be in front or do or talk in front of people.
But you're much more social.
But I like, getting on the beers and talking to friends and stuff like that.
You know all our neighbours.
Well, you know our, our
main
them.
neighbours. I know them, but I couldn't, you.
Kirsty doesn't really leave the house much to see what goes on outside of our
No, I mean,
house.
if you went to the shop, you could, there was one time when we saw our neighbours' kids and you were talking to them, and then when we left, I said, who was that?
Yeah.
And you said, that's our neighbours. I was like, really?
Yeah.
I've never seen these people before in my life. You're like, we've lived next door to them for 5 years.
Yeah, so Kirsty just sticks to herself and is pretty introverted in that sense.
So I still like to wear masks to the shop, even though COVID's sort of...
That's how
most people have forgotten about COVID, but if I wear a mask, then not as many people will recognise me and I don't have to talk to as many people.
Yes, masks haven't been a thing for a long time now, and Kirsty... Yeah. If she's just not in the mood to talk to anyone, she'll just wear a mask.
Well, if I'm busy and I'm in a hurry and I'm looking extra ugly that day.
Yeah, well, it's a good way to not to have to wear makeup, I guess, which sucks for you girls. There's sort of a expectation on that, so that's pretty. That's
we
sucky,
don't all wake up looking as cute as you do naturally.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that answered that question. Someone says, "Tell me a funny story." Well, we have lots of funny stories. I've actually written a script for a TV show about my family. Lots of people
but might have noticed
know this.
We've spoke quite a bit about Kirsty's family, but they're
just so funny.
They're just so unique. I've never met anyone like them in my life. They're just all characters, all you very unique individuals.
I'm going to put them forward for travel guides. They need to go on that show.
So we've done a few family...
Them separately, because it'd be even funnier because they wouldn't have me to do everything for them, lead them, which I normally do when we're on holidays. They don't know really how to get on a plane by themselves or anything, so it'd be hilarious to watch. But back to what we were saying, funny stories. The reason we always bring my family into it is because, they're just, every single one of them are so freaking unique.
So unique. And every day, I'm actually don't even get involved in the group chats anymore because they get too
you left
crazy.
The group chats.
They get a bit too savage for me every now and again, so I have to leave. But every day there's another funny story.
Well, we're the kind of family that literally can tell each other to get,
Fact.
You know what?
Yeah.
Fuck off.
We went to dinner the other night.
And then 5 minutes later, we're fine.
Someone left and said, you can all go and get fucked.
That was Nathan.
And then he just come back in 20 minutes later after he went and killed them.
You're right.
Right.
I'm right now.
Hey, Jess, how you going? Hey, Kirst, sorry.
That was a funny one. One of them, so we'll say Nathan come in, told everyone to get fucked. He was in a bad mood. He left. And then my sister, she got the shits and she left.
That's right. She left.
And she come back. And then we're just happy family again.
Yeah, it's a good way to be. It's better than holding on to stuff and letting it fester and brew and then you just don't ever talk. So they have lots of blow-ups.
Let us know if you have a crazy family.
Yeah,
like
lots of blow-ups. And then they're friends again 10 minutes later.
Back to the funny story. A really funny story, and it's actually so embarrassing. Oh, my gosh.
It's pretty embarrassing. It's good, though. This is a good one.
So this is way before the block. So, I was obviously known as a singer, but not as well known as I am now. My mum puts her caravan up on Marketplace for sale, okay?
So Kirsty's a big deal in
my family and in my hometown.
Yeah.
But my mum thinks I'm worldwide famous. Everybody knows me. As most mums do think
she's
about their job.
Very
she's
proud mum. Very proud mum.
So she puts her caravan up for sale on Marketplace.
And how long have you had that caravan for?
Oh,
you were going camping in it when you were...
I reckon we've had over 20 years.
Over 20 years. And it was about 10 years old.
When we got it.
Yeah.
Easily 10 years old when we got it.
So it's pushing 40, this caravan.
Yes. So she puts it up on Marketplace.
How much she bought it for?
I'm going to get to that.
Okay.
So she puts it up on Marketplace for sale. And one of the selling points that she listed was that her famous daughter, country singer Kirsty Height, has slept in this caravan.
It's so good.
When I saw this pop up on
and it
her
wasn't
Facebook,
just on Gumtree either, where it's like anonymous.
No, it was Facebook
That's what I'm saying.
Marketplace.
It's on Facebook.
It's so embarrassing.
So
I was like, oh my gosh.
And it's
But-
they got like the same last name.
Yeah.
It's just so good. Oh, it was hilarious.
But she sold it within a couple of hours.
Yep.
And she sold it for the same amount she paid for it like
20 years ago.
20 years ago.
Yeah. She's a wheeler and dealer.
She's a wheeler
Yeah.
and dealer. But,
She's got the gift of the gab. She's a born salesman, your mum.
and Mum said the person who came to buy it had no idea who I was.
No. So she was telling the bloke all about you and you've
Yeah,
slept in it.
I've slept in it.
Because we did a film clip with it early on as well.
Oh, she said that too, didn't she?
So, like rattling off all this stuff,
my
and then
gosh.
old mate had no idea who you were. Yeah,
So
he was just there to
embarrassing.
buy a caravan.
Oh my gosh, I wanted
Yeah.
to die when I
But
saw
it must have been a vintage model. That's probably
It was,
why it
yeah.
sold for more.
Probably. The next question that we got sent is, what annoys you? I think the easier question for me is, what doesn't annoy you?
Kirsty gets so irritated, so easy. Don't you?
No, I get irritated by
Dumb people.
stupid people.
Yeah.
I
But
don't
they
know.
say
And
there's
rude,
no.
I don't like rude people.
Definitely, yeah.
Don't like, racist people, all those homophobic people. I just
Yeah.
don't like bad people. That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
But the world seems to be full of more of those than what there does nice people. So that's why I get irritated easily.
Yes.
But one thing that actually annoys us both, not much annoys you. You're pretty easygoing. But one thing that does kind of annoy us both
Just trying to think what does annoy me.
is, when you meet people or you know people that when they tell you a story.
Oh, the long talkers. Yes, the long
Oh my
talkers.
gosh.
So Kirsty and I, we try and talk lots on here, but outside of here, we don't talk that much to each other
No.
or in conversation in general. It's usually a few word answers.
One answer. Yeah.
Yeah.
One answer.
But I think
question.
everyone know those long talkers that
Give you an example.
an example would be, so what could be wrapped up if Kirsty and I was telling a story, be a one sentence answer. It'd be like, oh, do you remember last week when I had to pick your great aunt Jenny up from
The hospital.
the hospital and
On the way home, we stopped for fuel.
yeah,
And it was.
it was across from that place, so we got that hamburger that time.
And then we ran into her cousin Bill.
Yeah.
And he was telling us about his daughter that lost her job.
Yeah.
And then we went home and I got out of the car and the grass was really long and wet. So I had to walk around the other way. And then I ended up stepping in dog shit.
Well, that's probably a shortened version, but some people just can go on and on and on. So if Kirsty and I were to tell that story, we'd be like, oh, stood in
Stepped
dog shit yesterday.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, that's it. And then that'd be it. I don't know. Some people have these long-winded ways of telling a story.
And you know what? When those people are telling me those stories, I'm so good at just nodding and going, oh, yeah. And I've got no idea what they're talking about. I'm just like, oh, yeah. Yeah. Really?
I can
Wow.
tell. You can usually tell by body language. Body language is a pretty fascinating thing. So you can look at people's feet. So if someone's telling a really boring story to Kirst, her feet will be sort of pointing where she wants
Really?
to go to get away
did
from.
not know that.
Yeah, so or you'll be like a bit side on, like you'll be looking and paying attention, nodding politely, but your feet will usually be the gauge.
I don't just
that
like
you're
pull
not
out my
interested.
phone and start looking at my phone while they're
Yeah.
talking.
Oh yeah,
Oh, that'd be funny. Okay, so next question. Someone asked about us living in America. So we have lived in America in the past.
Yeah,
and you know what's
so-
funny? When we were on the block, I would see lots of, I don't know why it was old ladies, but 90% of the people that would write nasty comments on Facebook especially.
Yeah, it's
'cause
bizarre,
They
yeah.
haven't figured out Instagram yet.
Luckily.
Facebook was older ladies. So savage, so nasty.
They are savage,
oh
aren't
my
they?
gosh.
Yeah.
And one comment I would always read is, oh my God, Kirsty and Jessie have lived in America. They're not battlers.
Not battlers.
Blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. Okay.
So
It is possible to travel to another country for work
yes.
and not be loaded. So every time we've had to travel to America is for work. So obviously a lot of our expenses, our flights and stuff like
Or
that would
tax
get covered by...
Deductible as well.
That's right. And, when we first started going over there, we have a lot of friends that live in America, so we'd stay with them.
Yep.
But we actually did live over there for a while. And how we lived over there is you and I started our own business at the age of 22 and 23. We started our own cafe.
Yeah, so there's no, we worked hard. We didn't have much money, but you worked hard just to make
Yes, we started our own cafe. We'd never had a business before. We'd never made coffee before, anything like that. Our house that we had brought, we sold that, and we used some of that profit to start the cafe. And the reason we started the cafe is we wanted to have a regular income coming in so we could travel to America. So,
and that'd be our income because you can't work over there. We had a green card. So that was our income.
And while we were back here, so we would go over there for 3 months at a time, live over there for 3 months, and then we'd come back here. And when we came back here, we lived in your mum's shed. So it's not like we had, this amazing house in America and then we came and we had an amazing house here. No, we lived in a place over there where we paid $150 a week rent.
Mm-hmm.
And when we came back here, we literally lived in a shed with no running water and no power.
So everyone, just presumed because we'd done a bit of stuff that we were just super rich, but definitely wasn't the case. And it was, just people were just savage, especially the old ladies. They're just so savage, especially towards Kirst. It's weird.
I don't know what it is.
Something about her I just don't trust.
Oh, there's something about that little girl I don't like.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's an Aussie thing, but a lot of people don't like an outspoken woman that knows what she wants.
Yeah, I think that sort of even that generation too, I guess, not to stereotype it all.
Yeah, they kind of
is sort of
they were quiet and did what their husband told them, kind of thing.
Back, the older generation. So Kirsty is just a strong, independent, outspoken.
But another
woman.
funny comment I would always read was, "Oh my God, this girl has come on here to try and be a famous singer. Go back to your day job."
Mm.
And I couldn't help myself. I'd always have to reply because,
of course,
what they didn't know is my day job was being a singer
singing,
for the past 15 years.
And of course, you're on telly for 3 months. You're gonna, of course. What do you mean? You'd be silly. You wouldn't go on a TV show and then not
promote your
music or career.
But what they didn't realize is I hadn't just gone on this reality show and then just thought, I might become a singer.
I think that's what a lot of people thought.
If I wanted to be a famous singer from a TV show, I'd go on The Voice or something. I wouldn't go on a building show. But what they didn't know is before the block, I'd already released 5 albums, 5 ARIA charting albums, millions of streams on Spotify, won 2 golden guitars. Anyway, travelled all over the world performing.
Yep.
So that was one of the funniest comments I'd read. And I hope those people watch the new music video where they see me performing with a band at 3 years old.
Yeah. They probably wouldn't even put 2 and 2 together.
So it's been a 30-year overnight success.
Yes, definitely.
But back to living in America. We got sidetracked.
Oh, that's right. What were we talking about? Yeah. So we did live in America for quite a while then.
So
Nashville.
We love Nashville so much. The thing I love about Nashville the most, other than the music, I love that you can, on a Monday, go downtown in Nashville and listen to an amazing band at 10 a.m. It's just heaven for us.
It is heaven.
But the other thing I love over there is the food. I'm just obsessed with
Mexican food. Kirsty loves Mexican and everything. Any sort of southern food, smoked meats.
It's funny you say she's obsessed with Mexican when we're talking about America.
All Mexican food.
You're so white.
Well, it's like the Mexican food in the South is still amazing. Yeah, it's good.
But yeah, I loved all the smoked meats and all the stuff that makes you die of a heart attack pretty much.
Yep.
So yeah, we loved our time over there and we're hoping to get back there very soon. We can't wait, itching to get back over there. Okay, let's come back to some questions. There's one thing I want to talk about. It's a very, very serious topic. I was like, why don't a lot of cafes do all day breakfast?
Drives me nuts. We went out for breakfast the other day and on the weekend
we got there at like, I don't know.
Was it 10:30?
Yeah.
I know we usually, we're up super early all week.
Yeah.
And if you get a day off, we're still up early.
Yeah.
Like if we can sleep till 6:37.
But we just lay around for a bit.
But you just lay around and
have the Saturday morning sex.
Do the sex. Oh, God, don't start on that again.
But I hate it when you get to cafes and they're like, breakfast has stopped. It's like, why? Okay.
Breakfast has stopped.
You're cooking bacon to go on your burgers that you're serving at lunch. You're cooking eggs to go on those burgers.
I don't understand.
You're using your deep fryer for chips. Why can't you just throw a hash brown in?
Yeah.
You're using bread.
So if anyone is a chef out there...
We've had a cafe and we did all day breakfast.
I don't know, because...
I don't know.
I just don't understand why they just put all the breakfast foods away. I don't know. It just doesn't never make sense.
No breakfast for you.
Yeah. It's like bacon, eggs. You're still using a hot plate.
Yeah.
Not sure.
I don't get it. But that's another thing that annoys me. Back to the questions.
Yes.
No all day breakfast.
So we left.
Yeah, we did.
We boycotted it.
We ended up getting lunch, I think. Somewhere.
We had to, I think, because by the time we found another place, it was lunchtime.
So we don't watch a lot of TV, but when we go to bed, like we don't watch any TV during the day, obviously. But when we go to bed at night, we'll watch about an hour's worth. If I'm lucky, I get an hour's worth.
Well, it's not even that because that's when we do the computer work.
Yeah, we're always on our phones. So we watch it, but we're not really watching. But one thing that we watched, and oh my gosh, we got sucked in. We were like watching until 2 a.m. and then we were having to get up at 5.
What was it?
What do you mean, what was it?
Oh, I guess you're going to tell me. I can't remember.
Oh my God, you need to go get checked. This
I've
is
been
only like
checked.
a couple of weeks ago that we...
I'll remember once you tell me. Which one was it?
Alone.
Alone. Yeah. It was good, but I skipped. That's
It
right.
was so good. I don't remember. I don't remember staying up to 2 a.m. watching the episodes.
Well, we have watched other stuff since.
Anyway, back to Alone. Okay, so this TV show, I think it's on Binge.
It is on Binge.
It's called Alone, and it's the most simplest idea for a show. It'd be so cheap for a network to do it. We need to do an Aussie version.
An Aussie version.
But I don't know if it'll work. So the idea of the show is, I don't know how many people there is. There's probably like...
10. Starts with 10. Yep.
So it starts out with 10 people. They dump them literally out in the middle of nowhere. So
in Alaska, like freezing cold areas.
Nowhere. Like there's no civilization, nothing.
Well, we've only seen one series.
Yeah.
I don't know what the other ones. And we skip right to the last season because we're like, oh, is it going to be any good? We'll go to the newest one. Hopefully it's better.
So they dump them out in the middle of nowhere and they're alone with nothing. They can take 10 items.
10 items.
10 items and they've got to survive. They've got to get their own food. They've got to build their own shelters. They've got to... And whoever... So you can tap out. So, one guy, he pretended to have a heart attack and tapped out after like day 6.
Day 6.
But like the winner, I think he lasted...
It was close to 80 days, I think.
80
I think
days,
the record's 110,
and he won
$500,000.
So,
and it's savage conditions.
There's
like,
bears, there's wild bears, there's like...
And it sounds like it's not that interesting. And it probably...
It sucks you in.
It isn't.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I just couldn't stop watching it. It's just like, oh, how are they going to make their camp?
But it's interesting to see what 10 items they take. And it got me thinking what 10 items we would take if we were sort of dumped on a deserted island or whatever.
Yeah, I think our 10 items would be
because I watched going, why wouldn't you bring that?
Well, I think you said, what did you say? Oh, just
go to Costco
and
I'd get like a 200 pack of those chocolates. I could live off one chocolate a day.
I don't think it works like that. I don't think you can take any food.
Well, we don't know this. We don't know this. Let's presume we don't know the rules, okay? Okay. So I don't know about all my 10 items, but some of them would be. Number 1 would be a potato.
Potato?
Yes. I could plant it and grow more potatoes.
You obviously haven't been the one ever out here planting vegetables because they're seasonal and it snows. That's the whole thing. They have to gather food before the snow comes.
Yeah. What? Potatoes don't grow in the snow?
I can't remember if I'm pretty sure they're a summer. I don't know, actually, when you can grow them. But I know what you mean. If it is season time to plant a potato, you can plant it and then go.
I would choose potato over a meat any day because you could have.
There's so many
fried,
ways you can have it.
You could have.
Kirsty
mashed.
reminds me of Bubba from Forrest Gump. You can have fried shrimp, you can have potato, mashed
scarlet potato, boiled potato.
Yeah, Kirsty goes on and on. So I think
it's just so versatile.
It is versatile. So that pretty much goes back to if you could only eat one food source for the rest of your life, it'd be a potato.
Yes. So I thought I could replant it, but I'm guessing I can't.
Maybe you can.
So I'll go back to the 200 pack
surely.
of chocolates from Costco. Because that could be considered one item. It's in one box. Well, I reckon I could try and sweet talk my way into bringing in a 200 pack of what chocolates would they be? 12s would be good.
12s.
Well, actually, we need one with the highest calories because they all lose so much weight on the show.
Yeah, one on the last season. They lost 80 pounds.
And I don't really have a lot of weight to lose. So I'd probably have to beef up before I left. I'd have to just eat KFC every day, pizza, be a good excuse. Put on a couple of kilos.
Yes, you'd want to put about 30 kilos on heading in.
But yeah, these poor people, oh my gosh, they live off like a handful of berries a day.
And yams or whatever they are, like wild youngins and...
Youngins, I love youngins.
Wild youngins. So no, it sounds pretty boring actually, but it sucks in. Yeah. It's really interesting. See how they make their camps and survive, and they just eat nothing, and the weight falls off them. Yeah. It's interesting.
So do you have any items you would take? Because
mine are more practical.
This is something you would love to do.
Well, there's $500,000 on the line. That's the thing about it. So if there's no money, I I would not want to do it at all. So it would be horrible, especially the
Of
cold.
course, you'd only do it for money. Of course.
It's in
why
the
when
freezing
People
snow.
would say to
I
us,
can't handle it.
Why are you doing your block? What's the main reason for you doing the block? And we'd say, for the money.
Obviously, it's for the money.
What else would we be doing? I'm not doing it for, I just want to have an amazing experience.
Yes.
And I want to push myself and challenge myself.
No,
I want some money, mate.
I want some money.
Give me the money.
I've been poor and I've been rich. I know which one I want to be.
I wouldn't say 300 grand is rich.
That's rich.
Well, I guess it was rich to us when we were poor.
Mate, I'm the richest bloke.
But that's going into
there's
house.
not going to be any left.
So it's not like we're even rushing off and buying. We don't even have another car yet. That's the one
'cause
thing, because we want to save it for this house.
Everything's going to the house.
Everything's so
and just
expensive
we're
right now,
hoping-
renovating wise. Like timber is
Timber's
like
just gone
double
through
the
the roof.
price.
Yeah, everything's just chewing it all up very fast.
It is.
What would have been probably just a $100,000 renovation,
Well, that's what we were planning on spending. We're like, 100,000, buy a new car.
get a new car.
We'll have a deposit for another place. But
Yeah, it's going to be gone. So
gonna be gone.
that's why I'm back to cutting my own hair this afternoon. It's going.
We probably should do the ad for this week's podcast. And Bobby Boucher, he pretends like he doesn't really like doing the ads, but we know deep down he loves it. He rang me yesterday because he thought we were doing our podcast yesterday. He rang me last night and he's like, "Oh, you didn't ring me for your podcast, so I was waiting around all day for you to ring me." But I reckon instead of getting Dad to do the ad this week, we try my brother Nathan, because Nathan last week we spoke about him waffle stomping
Yes.
in the shower.
Yeah, and he blew up like I knew he would.
He was a bit
talking
upset
it.
about
He's
the
a bit
waffle stomping
And he's been upset
story.
a few times now because I think we've ragged on his tattoo or
We
I
have.
don't know.
And he wants to come on the podcast. So I reckon maybe next week we might be able to, or next podcast, he might be able to be
We'll
our
aim for next
special
week.
guest.
Yeah.
He might be able to be our special guest.
I think we need to get a special guest. The thing is, it goes back to us just not really being those people to annoy other
Well, it's
people.
not that. Is our schedule is so crazy. We literally do this podcast like we know we have like a couple of hours notice to do it because we're like, oh, okay, we've got a spare hour or two. Let's just do the podcast now. And it's hard to get a special guest at that last minute notice.
Definitely.
It's hard to schedule in guests.
So it's the weekend at the moment and we've just been cleaning up all day ready for the next week of renovations. So the trades have got a clean start.
Yeah.
So it's just hard to fit it in. We're trying our best, guys. We'll try and make it weekly.
Yes.
But
who knows?
who knows?
So I reckon we get Nathan to do the ad and then we ask him if he wants to be a guest on our next podcast.
Yeah, right.
So Dad's going to be upset, but he'll get over it.
Hello.
Hello?
What's going on?
Nothing. What are you doing?
So Dad's
Oh, what's that in the background?
footy,
Oh, who's playing?
Canberra and Rabbitohs.
Oh, yeah. We're going to... What?
I'm on your fucking podcast.
Yeah, but don't tell Dad, you'll get cut.
Oh,
He'll get jealous.
I'll sit next to him.
We're going to... Do you want to be our special guest on our next podcast? Not today's one, but our next one.
Yeah.
Because you keep asking. But
Hello, mate. How you going?
Good mate, how are you?
Good. Yeah, so we know that you're a bit upset that we've had a few jabs at you on the podcast, so maybe
about
you
your
can...
waffle stomping and
waffle
your
stomping
shit
and
tats.
tattoos and that, so maybe you'd like to come on and let people know that you're just not a grub.
Yeah, I just come on air and defend myself.
Yeah, come and defend
Yeah.
yourself, mate. Yeah.
So, we'll get you on the next podcast. But before then, we need you to do the ad for this week's podcast. You got to do as good a job as what Dad did.
A good a job.
As good a job.
Right.
Oh.
So, he turned the footy down. That's good. Oh, no, he didn't. So you got to say, this podcast brought to you by Lemonex.
Right.
You ready?
Yep.
Yeah, nice and loud.
In your podcast voice, mate.
Nice and deep.
Yeah.
Ready? Go.
This podcast. I was fucking gonna do it, and then you.
Yeah, come on.
you don't-
Hurry up. What are you waiting
Alright.
for?
I can't hear over the footy.
What are you waiting for? A bus?
Oh, hang on. You ready?
Yeah.
This podcast is brought you.
By
I've
use.
done it, Bobby Akers. Oh, hang on, we'll try again.
Brought to use by.
Brought used by. Brought to
Right.
you, not use.
Right.
Yeah.
Is
This
that-
podcast is brought to you by Lemonex.
Beautiful, mate. Yeah.
Good job.
Couldn't even tell you're nervous.
Rightio. Well, we'll get you on the next podcast. We'll get you in here. No, we'll get you in here into the real fancy studio we've got.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. And you can defend your waffle stomping and what else we've stopped in about over the past few weeks.
Sounds good.
Nathan has been talking up him coming on this podcast to us ever since we started. Every week.
He's
he
wanted
says,
to get on.
you need to get me on your podcast. And I keep saying, what are you going to talk about?
Yeah, what is he going to talk about?
I don't know.
Nathan's super funny. Like, he's the funniest dude
I
and
said to
real
him, as soon
confident.
as
But
you
I
bring
reckon,
a camera on you,
Yeah.
you're quiet. And
yeah, I
you
reckon as
close
soon
up.
as he gets this on him, he'll just go to water.
He will.
Yeah. And he'll, after it, he'll be stewing on it. And
I
he'll be
know.
like, oh, no, why'd I say that?
I know. Back to some of the questions, because we've got lots here. Obviously, we can't answer every single one, but we're going to try and answer as many as we can. One, and what is really funny is when you type in our name on Google, this one comes up all the time.
Oh, that's right. When you do put Kirsty Leakers or Kirsty and Jessie.
Yeah. So this one comes up all the time.
There's lots of funny stuff that comes underneath it, yeah.
But one of the ones is, how tall is Kirsty? People are obsessed with this.
Yeah.
If I was like average height or tall, do you think people would say, how tall is she? I don't know. Anyway.
I saw one that said, is Kirsty a little person?
Well, I am little.
Yes, she is a little, but she's not a little person. She's just
in
short.
proportion.
Yes.
I didn't have much hope. My mum and dad are both short.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know what it is in feet, but I am 147 centimetres.
Is it? I think it's like 4 to 10.
Something
Yeah, under
like that.
5 foot
I'm
anyway.
not 5 foot, yeah. I'm tall
147.
enough to get on the rides at Movie World.
That's all that counts,
That's all that
really.
counts.
Yeah. But the funny thing, I think someone found the regulations for
Oh my
driving.
gosh, I did.
And I think Kirsty is meant to have a booster seat. Or you just
No, it's
one
145 centimetres.
Right.
If your kid is so up until 145 centimetres, by law apparently your child has to be in a booster seat. So I'm only 2 centimetres off needing
That's
a
so
booster
funny.
seat. And I haven't measured myself lately. I've probably gotten shorter as I've gotten older. Who knows?
You will definitely shrink.
Because my great-grandmother, by the time she got to the end, she was like up to here on me.
Yeah.
So I will. But anyway, so that answers everyone's questions. Another person has asked, how did we meet? And we've already answered this in our very first podcast, I think. We've obviously went to, well, not obviously. Mama saying obviously, like, obviously.
Obviously.
You should know.
How do you not know that?
We went to
There's
primary
lots of people
school
that
together.
just, don't follow us along. They just tune in.
Just tune in now.
To try and learn something.
Who are
Sorry,
these
guys.
weirdos?
You won't learn much here.
No. We went to primary school together. So that's how we met.
Yep.
How we got together, though, is I liked one of your friends. He didn't like me. I would ask you to try and get us together. You did at one point, but he still didn't like me. Thought I was a smelly bitch. And then we became friends, and we hooked up at a party one night. Bit of kissy-kissy.
Smoochy smooch. What's weird is that I think that we were the only ones that had country music connections.
So we didn't even know that.
We didn't even
at
know
the
that at the time. So I was into lots of music and stuff.
I thought you
when I was
thought
younger.
country music was lame.
No,
Because you were like one of the cool guys in our school.
I don't know about that.
We were. But anyway.
One of the cool guys. That sounds very lame.
Yeah, well, you were lame as well, but
Yeah.
you were one of the cool dudes.
I don't know about that.
You were. Stop being humble, you weirdo. Okay, so
Yeah.
just go or whatever.
Whatever.
We weren't sitting by the bin, like smelly.
Matter of fact, we did sit by a bin. We sat near a bin.
Well, that's, you know what I mean by like the actual bins at school. Some of the smelly sat near the bins.
Does anyone else call? It's so
Unpopular
weird.
people.
It's so weird. The whole school pecking order.
They don't do it
thing.
now, I don't
They
think.
don't. That's what I think. I don't think there would be as much of
See,
that.
I wasn't
now.
like in the most popular girls group. I was in like the mediocre popularity group. So
It's because you sung country music.
yeah, but also because I don't really like too many basic bitches,
Airheady.
airheady chicks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Kirsty gets along with blokes. She gets along with girls as well, but
Yeah.
gets along with blokes so much easier because
I should have been a man.
Yeah, or
I should have been.
Well, I'm glad you're not.
I know, but I should have been. Like, I have the personality of a man. Like,
Yes, so we like when the boys are having smoko and stuff. Kirsty sits
I was
around
like
with
telling dirty jokes.
yeah, dirty
like,
jokes and drops it's lots of swear
The C
words and
word.
stuff like that, and just gets along with blokes. And yeah, he's not as sensitive to a lot of.
Okay, if you're a female and you're my friend, I do have a few. I've got my same best friend, two best friends since kindergarten,
Yep.
Rachel and Amy, and obviously Emily and Shani, my other best friends. And we've all got extremely thick skins. You've got to have thick skin. You've got to be able to laugh stuff off and brush
Yeah.
it off. Like, you know, when we watch those Real Housewives and they're like, oh my God,
When-
Sally.
did you say
Sally
when we
unfollowed
watch?
me on Instagram.
Yes, so that's
How dare you?
I can't handle that either, and I don't know if that's a girl thing, but Kirsty
I
doesn't
can't imagine
really.
too many guys doing that. I don't know.
I didn't know, man. Yes, and you just said when we watch.
Well, we do, because I saw you this morning. You were making your coffee and you were like watching it. You
No,
kept turning around
mate.
watching.
No
you
way.
Were.
I
You were.
was huffing and puffing the whole time it was on.
No, you weren't. You were interested. You're like,
No, I wasn't. That's the worst show ever. Oh, just because they do exactly what you just
in
said.
saying that, you... Oh,
Listen to that
calm down.
rain.
You
Just
love
listen
the Real
down.
Housewives of Melbourne. Gina.
I like Gina. I
Gina?
think because she reminds me of you.
Yeah.
She's funny
She
like
tells
a
them all to get
bloke.
stuffed.
Yeah, and she's just up front and just down the
Yeah.
line and not
Yeah.
just bitchy about
Yeah.
like
Pointless shit.
pointless stuff. Like I don't even know what they talk about on there, but it's rubbish. It's
Yeah.
really bad.
I don't even remember what this question was. Had we met? I don't even know how we got to this point, talking about Desperate Housewives. Actually, what were we talking? Yeah. I
What?
don't remember what we were talking about. I don't know.
What?
I had a thing in my head. I don't know if this was a question, but thinking about our first kiss. Do you remember our first kiss?
Was it at Mulberry Hall?
Yes.
I think.
But
yeah.
it wasn't out in the hall. It was outside in the gutter. Out
in
the
the
front.
gutter. Yes. Yeah.
And it was so bad. You were like chewing my face off.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I taught you how to kiss after that part. So
I
it's
don't
alright.
think it'd be that bad. It would have only because I was drunk. I'd say.
Yeah, you were
I'm pretty
very
sure that night. I couldn't even do it now, but I was. Yeah, I think I drank a bottle of
And you were 16. Oh my gosh.
whiskey or something.
Yeah. Will Ferrell.
Feral.
We grew up in a small town where
Small
literally
town,
there was
there's
nothing
nothing
to
to
do. Every weekend we went to parties
And most of the time the
underage
parties
kids
were
got
in-
really drunk.
in your backyard.
In my backyard,
Yeah.
yeah.
Kirsty's house was the party house.
It
It was
was.
just known
The
for
backyard
miles
was,
around.
at
So
least.
Kirsty had this massive backyard, no plants, nothing to interfere with the party. So you could have fires and
Bonfire.
lots of people standing around. And it was just the party house.
Yeah.
It was good. There's been lots of
Relationships come from those
marriages
parties.
come from them
And
parties at your
children
place.
created-
And children.
Yes, and they're still together now, which is really sweet, actually.
Yeah, it is nice. Yeah.
So we didn't actually get together at one of my parties, but lots of other people did.
Yes.
So our first kiss was terrible, but it got me thinking about actual first kisses in general.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember your first kiss? Not our first kiss, but your actual first kiss.
I know, like, yeah, but I don't really remember how it was or anything
You don't
like
remember if it was
that.
any good?
Nah.
Oh, it wasn't very memorable then. Mine was terrible. Mine was at school dance in year 7. And you know when you'd go to school, I used to dread school dances. I used to dread it.
Oh, because it's one of the friends that go and ask,
Yes,
oh, you're going to hook
I'd be
up
like,
with...
oh, I hope no one asks me to kiss.
And then if you didn't, you'd be
They're
like, oh,
you're
they're
a
frigid. You're frigid.
You're frigid.
Do you reckon they still talk like that nowadays? Frigid?
No. No way. No.
Actually, kids don't think really talk to each other. They just text and will like do the dip.
Yes. Anyway, my first kiss was a terrible situation like that in year 7 at school dance. Someone, one of his friends asked me if I'd kiss him, and I was like, oh, I don't want to, but if I don't, everyone's going to be like, yeah, frigid, you're a lesbian.
Yeah.
I remember after that, I was like, I'm never kissing a boy again. For a good while there, the boys was like, are you a lesbian? We were like, oh my God, no, you are just disgusting. Anyway, so I remember everyone was standing around and so gross. So it wasn't a very good memory.
Yeah, right. So what were you leading to with that? Just the
I
first
don't know.
time things not living up to expectations?
Yes. You know, you like to think of these momentum. What's the word? I don't know.
Things that you remember? Memorable moments?
Oh my God.
Momentous
Occasions? I don't know what the
occasions?
word is.
Momentous? I don't know. But like special
We're from
moments.
Curry High.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Curry High. We're not real
Oh
good
my gosh.
with the talking.
Yeah, I don't even know where that question. I don't know where that came from. It just extended off. what we're talking about. Someone asked how long we've been together. We're
Ages.
too long. We're getting ready to celebrate our 17th anniversary. So it'll be
Yes.
17 years.
So yeah, the Logies are coming up, and we've got invited
It's the
because
same
we're
weekend as our
nominated.
17th
So
anniversary.
the block's nominated. Amazing. So we're going to try and extend either side of that or something and do something. Well, when I say we, Kirsty does the planning.
I'll plan
I'll try
plan
and
something
think
very
about something.
romantic for myself.
Yeah, I'll try and do something. I'll keep it
Thanks,
in
Dom.
mind.
Thank you. So that answers that question. Another one was, what was your favourite part of the block? And I can honestly say my favourite part of the block was the day we went home. I know the same for you.
Yeah, it was just horrible. It really was. It was a horrible experience. But it's so weird. It's so
I know.
conflicting because it was the most amazing thing that's ever happened to us.
Yes.
And so many amazing things have come from it.
We
but
had to
it's
go
just,
through short-term pain for long-term gain.
It was just 3 months of torture. Like sleep deprivation is
Yeah.
a form of torture, and I just can't describe it.
Hard
Everyone's been a week without not much sleep.
Go 3
But
months.
it's 3 months and then working your absolute guts
7
out.
days a week.
7 days a
Not
week.
as- I reckon if you got one
I was
day
in a
off a week,
delirium.
if you got 1 day off a week, you'd probably be all right. You could recover on that 1 day, but it's just 7 days a week straight, and you're working 16, 18 hours a day.
Sometimes we would work. It was like 56 hours straight.
So when people
from,
would
like,
say
the
to me, "Did
Thursday
you have
to the
fun?" I'm like,
That's
"Hell
usually
no."
the first question. Is like, "Oh, did you have fun?"
No, and people are like, "Really?"
No.
I'm like, "I'm being honest. No,
It's-
I don't.
but
That's
it's-
not what I do for fun."
It's conflicting that because
would-
I loved the
Yeah.
I love the block family, the block crew,
Yeah.
and all the things that come from it. But that's how you get good TV.
Yes. Well, this brings the next question we were asked from Stephanie. Would you ever go on the block again? And this is a hard one to answer because when we were doing the block, we always said we were never doing this again. You would film videos of yourself at 3 a.m. painting going, "Don't be an idiot. Watch this video back. If you
I've
get
never
asked to
felt
do it
so
again,
sick.
do not do it again."
Yeah, if you've ever done like 7 like night duties in a
Yeah.
row, on the last one you get that unsickly feeling, like the feeling you get before you wanted a dry reach. I was
Yeah.
just in that 24/7 for 3 months.
So
It
at the
was-
time, we said no. And even now, we like to think that if we were ever asked to go back on, we would be in a position to turn it down. But this is like the most amazing opportunity anyone in Australia will ever be gifted from a TV show. It's hard to turn that down. How do you turn that down?
How do you turn down the money? You know,
How do you turn
when you
down
haven't had,
300,000 for 3 months?
when you have never had
Like,
any monies,
yeah.
and then there's opportunity.
The opportunities that come from that afterwards,
Yeah, and
it's hard to turn down.
like before the block, God, I would have done some horrendous things for $50.
So I reckon the answer to the question would be yes, we would do it again, because I know if we say no, but I know if Julian Crest got on the phone to us and said, "Hey guys, will you come back?" We'd be like, "We'll think about it," and then we'd be like, "Yeah, we can't say no. Like, how could you say no to that?" But we would just have to.
Oh, you have to do it with someone else. I don't. You and Mitch should be good, I reckon.
Me and Mitch would be good.
Oh man, that'd be so funny. I'd love to see that. You
I
and Mitch
know.
on the show.
That would be funny.
It'd be-
He would be the one person I would do it with. That wasn't you.
That's probably a good idea for the show.
I know.
Is not
Switch-
couples.
Yeah,
switch.
separate the partners up and switch them up.
Yeah.
Imagine if you got put with someone that you don't like, though. That'd be hard.
Well, who don't you like? Huh?
Just thinking.
Just thinking.
Just thinking. You'd be right. You like everyone. But, yeah.
What? Look here. Yeah.
Awkward.
Yeah. Awkward.
If only you could read my mind right now.
Yeah.
I think there was one more question I had on here that I was going to answer. What was it? So this question.
And just we do get along with everyone
Oh, yes,
on the
of
block.
course, yeah.
We're talking about other seasons.
Yeah. What are our hobbies? And this might sound like a simple question, but the answer to this for me is I honestly don't have any hobbies. And the reason for that is I'm so lucky I get to do what I actually love, what I live and breathe for as a job. My absolute favorite thing in the world is performing and music and writing songs and being in the studio. And I actually get paid to do that. So that's not a hobby.
Yeah, that's amazing that you get. That's
It's incredible.
That's incredible.
So I don't really have any hobbies. So what I like to do in my little bit of spare time, like we literally don't have hardly any spare time.
no, because we could, but
we could,
then
but
you
I'm
would
always
take
thinking of other things
the
we
next
can
venture. So if we were to have spare time, that would take away from the next venture
Yeah.
or business.
do. So literally
side
the
of
only
thing.
thing I like to do in my spare time, my little bit of spare time. Well, number one would be spend time with family. I love like, you know, all of us being together and having dinner or whatever. But the next one would be literally just doing nothing. Like there's nothing I enjoy more than just laying in bed and knowing I don't have to be somewhere at a certain time and I can just watch TV if I want.
It's just because I think if we weren't so busy, you would probably have to look for a hobby. Yeah. But because you only get such a limited time to do nothing, like to do a hobby, you just want to just chill and reset and refresh.
Even today is a day off for us.
This is our day off, but we've got to clean everything up, smick for all the trades tomorrow, and we've got to do this.
We have to do this podcast,
and then I've got to edit it. So
it's not really a day off. Like
when I say edit it, I just take the ums and ahs out.
You got to edit the footage. You got to switch between.
So there's 3 cameras,
and
just chop them up, and then we put a bit of music in, and so that pretty much takes the half a day.
Yeah, well, what we're doing today takes all day, so technically it's not a day off. So
we don't really have days off.
But what are your hobbies?
Well, I don't really have any either because all our spare time goes into like this sort of stuff and the next venture and business and work because we're still so hungry for all these achievements,
big dreams
and everything, and just start chasing the money so we can have more time for hobbies.
Yeah.
So I know if I really put in now, hopefully in 10 years' time, I'll have time for lots of hobbies.
5 years.
Well, I've got the goal for
40. Actually. So that's what, 7 years.
Yeah, I said 10 because I still only feel 30, but I think I'm 33 or 4.
In saying that, oh my gosh, I had a dream last night that, I don't know, I was having an argument with someone and they were treating me like a child, and I woke up and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe they spoke to me like that. I'm a 27-year-old woman. And then I was sitting on the dunny and I was like, no, I'm not. I'm 33.
It's so bizarre.
And then I was like, no, I'm not. I'm 34.
Yeah, I don't feel...
What the hell? I'm so old.
I don't feel this old at all. And to a lot of people, we're not old.
No.
But my mindset and how I think of myself, I don't think I'm 30. I remember when my sister had a 21st, I'm like, oh, they're so old. These old people, they're all drinking, being loud, drunks, and so that was 21.
I used to think 30 was old because I was in year 7 when my mum had her 30th.
Because they all had beards and everything, all these old people. You were in year 7 when your mum had her 30th. That's bizarre, isn't it?
Yes.
So you're in year 7 and your mum's turned 30. That's crazy. So imagine having, that means we'd have a kid in year 9.
Yeah, that is so weird. No, we'd have a kid in year 10.
What?
I'm 34.
That's crazy. I don't know how people... Well, the good part about that is closer to being 18 so you can get rid of them.
Kids? You don't get rid of kids now at 18. Sorry.
They're like,
Anyone that's
40.
listening right now, they'll be telling you, yes, you don't get rid of them at 18.
Yes. I think because I grew up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I think 18, you're an adult. That's it.
Yeah.
People are like, 21, 21, and then it'll just stretch out, 25, they're not kids anymore.
We'll just make it 30.
We'll just make it 30, yeah. No, 18, you're an adult.
Get out. You're your own. Saying that, we had your nephews. I know we've got to wrap this up, but we had your nephews for a night last weekend. And after that, I said to you, there is no way in hell we could be parents together because
we got different parenting.
Would just argue the whole time. You were playing the PlayStation with them until 3 a.m.
I didn't have a PlayStation.
I know you don't have a PlayStation.
So I was like, PlayStation.
Wow.
I haven't had a PlayStation since I was like 21 because that takes up time from our projects and work. So like the boys bring the PlayStation over and I was just like, oh, wow, this is amazing. I haven't done this in like 20 years.
Yeah.
Is that 20 years?
No, you're not 40.
10 years. So yeah, I left the boys at about 1 a.m.
Because
I was like, I'm tired, boys.
I messaged you at 1:30 from bed saying, you probably should tell the boys to go to bed now, Jess.
What? I don't know. Yeah, I'm like, oh, right, what's the weekend? I don't know.
Let them sleep in their school clothes.
I asked them when they come home, do you want to have a shower? And they're like, oh, nah, maybe later.
What they want to do, you tell them.
Well, I don't know this. I don't have kids.
See, this is why we would just argue the whole time, I think, because we argued the whole time about when they should go to bed or they should eat.
So, yeah, we just sat around playing PlayStation and then I'm like, oh, I'm tired.
I watched the Titanic.
It's too late. It's too late for a shower now. I don't know. Just don't have a shower.
Stay in your school clothes like the smelly kids at school.
Well, when she'd say it out loud, and I remember like, because there was
Remember when you'd see kids at
There
the
was
shops
lots of
on the
kids.
weekend? They would be in their school clothes, and
Yes.
you'd like, oh, poor things. they're
Especially
small
around our
kids.
neck of the woods. Like Saturdays, there'd be
Yeah.
still kids running around in their school clothes and
Yeah.
stuff. So, and I thought that was
Pretty scabby.
pretty scary. And here I am, doing the exact same thing.
Anyway,
They're not-
I've thrown
like
my
a-
last anyway. Anyway, let's wrap this up.
I'm going to count how many anyways you had and and
Let's
I'll
wrap
be
this up.
hitting you up for that massage.
Radio
10
Chatty
minutes
Cafe.
and
Let's wrap this up. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, wherever.
Yes, so there was a bunch of people that
Subscribe on our website.
asked us questions. If you still got any questions for next podcast or just
Send 'em in.
questions in general, just reach out, send us a DM, and we'll say good day.
Answer it for you.
Answer
But
it for
until
you.
next time, see you later. And next week, we actually will have a guest.
We
My
will
brother
have our
Nathan.
first guest.
The
Hooray.
Waffle Stomper.
We've been talking about guests for like the whole time. We've
Yeah.
been doing this. So
And
we've
people
got a
are
guest.
like, yes, they've got a guest. Ugh, it's just one of Kirsty's family members.
Not even someone famous, really.
He will be after this.
Yeah, he will. We'll make him famous.
Radio. See you later, guys.
See you guys.
Thank you very much. Kirsty. Where are you from, Kirsty? Where the heck's Curry people? Is it north? Curry. She's from Curry. I can say that. I can't say what they've got written down here. It's got something like hedgehog or something.
And please welcome out once again our first contestant, Kirsty Height.
My actual name is Kirsty Akers, and I come from Head and Greta. And
I knew that. I was wondering whether they knew.
She sings her songs in a bar on Broadway. Been chasing dreams since the day she was born. She knows that she'll be a big star someday. So for now she keeps singing her song. She's got a fire deep in her bones. Shines like a diamond in a pot of gold. She's as free as the smoke from a loaded gun. She's one of those spirits that was born to run. She's a wild one. She's a wild one. Her friends will tell her that she might not make it. Just give up and come on home. Find a hometown boy and raise a family. But they all know she's too far gone. She's got a fire deep in her bones. Shines like a diamond in a pot of gold. She's as free as the smoke from a loaded gun. She's one of those spirits that was born to run. She's a wild one. She's a wild one. She's a wild one. Ooh yeah, she's a wild one. You only get so many trips around the sun. She's gonna dance to the beat of her own drum. 'Cause she's got a fire deep in her bones. Shines like a diamond in a pot of gold. She's as free as the smoke from a loaded gun. She's one of those spirits that was born to run. She's a wild one. She's a wild one. She's a wild one. Ooh yeah, she's a wild one. She's a wild one. Ooh yeah, she's a wild one.
Question number one, Kirsty Height. And Kirsty, do you want to give me the sack? Do you want to be the cocktail? She'd do a good job, wouldn't she?
that's Kirsty Akers. Thank you very much.